Go live.
Okay, cool. Wow.
So
Oh,
I was reading Aiko's
what
comment.
happened? Oh, you know what? I forgot to even let me go jump onto the YouTube page so I can see what's going on.
Oh yeah, man, it's been a day here too. So, and dude, it's been snowing. It started snowing like probably like I don't know, hour ago. We got like within like 15 minutes, we got like an inch and a half of snow. It's like
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I forget y'all get snow out in Seattle every now and then, huh?
Well, I'm out in the mountains actually from Seattle, so it's easier to say Seattle just because people
Ah,
know
okay.
Seattle. But I'm a good 30 miles out of Seattle, so out in the
Got you.
burbs. I avoid the
Got you.
mom
Got you.
mafias. They rove in their Lululemon, doing their walks.
I feel it. Well, I don't, but I got you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh.
How are things with you? How's life in the fast lane of Jay?
I will tell you, man, I've been just mad busy and just taking on, it's the holidays. You get busy.
100%.
Um, I've been just, in my job is just it's like the busiest time of the year, and I'm like, still hobbying. So I need to chill out a little bit.
Feel
But
it. I feel it.
things are good, man. I can't complain. How about you? How you doing?
It's good, man. We're prepping for all the holiday. Got all of our shopping and all of our Christmas card stuff done, more or less. So doing that kind of fun stuff. Daughters, oh, dude, that's the other thing, man. Our 6-year-old, she's been on a tear lately, dude. The past 3 days have been testing limits. Every day is a new limit she wants to test. So,
She's like at that age where she wants to know like what she's allowed to do.
well, 6 going on 16, going on 21.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Oh man, I like the Ninja Turtle theme. Just like going heavy on it, going heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I got my cup.
Yeah, I just got my LaCroix. What flavor is this? I don't know.
I'm doing a little bit of licorice spice and everything nice tea, and some other uh, basic other tea here, but it's real potent green tea.
Dope, dope.
So
So what's been going on? What's been going on audio wise? Anything fun? Anything fun to share? What you got?
so I was just kind of talking a little bit about these. I got these in, and they are the Urzatec Manias, and so
Wow.
these things come out of Slovenia. And I've been following this guy on Instagram for a while. And he's been DIYing these, and he's slowly gotten them to like a level where they're it's a pretty thin carbon fiber strap up
Yeah, I
top.
was looking at that strap. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool little deal. It's light, very light. It's
Is it really?
yeah, very light actually. Like
It looks heavy as
it
hell.
does look heavy. It's actually very light. And then even though he has a little red marker here on the cable's pretty stiff, but it's not horrible. It's actually like that stiff, but it's so heavy that it's kind of easy to maneuver.
And that's the stock cable it comes with.
Yeah, and it's
How does it connect? Like,
this
what is
is
it?
pretty. It's got the regular single-ended.
No, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Like
Oh, same
onto
as
the
the
headphones.
Mini XLR.
Oh, mini XLR. That's the way
Yeah.
to go. That's the best.
I agree. So you got the little mini XLRs on the bottom there,
Okay.
and the pads are I think they're synthetic leather, vegan leather.
Hmm.
But and I was so here's the thing. Like whenever you get stuff like this, where it's like kind of, like I'm excited for it because I love people that have passion that are building things and they're you know what I mean like that. That's what I love. I love that
Yeah, yeah.
beyond a doubt. It's always going to be one of my favorite things. And so, but it's always that hit or miss. You never know,
Yep.
how good is it going to be? How's it,
exactly.
that. And dude, I put these. Actually, I put the little ones on. I had the little. He sent me the on ears that come with these, and they're all packed away in the closets because I'm going to do a video on those a little bit later. But I was just messing around listening to these today. But the little ones I put on first, and I was really not expecting much because I'm not a big fan of on ears, but dude,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, like I was proper impressed by how good they sounded. And then I threw the big boys on, and I was just like, it was the same thing, just a bigger. It was,
Really?
yeah, it was like, it was very, very, very clean sounding and really big stage, really good detail.
Nice.
Yeah, like I was in a lot of punch to them. I'd say, yeah, very fun. So I'll be doing some stuff on these here in the near future.
Dope. I want to hear them. Are they dynamic or are
Yeah.
they planar?
So he's
Oh
got,
wow.
I think he's got 3 headphones. He's got these ones. So these are the Manias. And oh man, I'm totally blanking on the other two with the names of them are. But the other one's an on-ear small dynamic, and then the other
Mm.
big one is a planar. And so
Oh,
yeah, so he's got some stuff, man. And then he's got a studio. They produce music and stuff. So he sent me 3 CDs of random miscellaneous music from the studio thing. I think that's what he does. But he partners. But I'm pretty sure they have something because it's Tech Audio. So I'm assuming it's his studio and they're putting out music and stuff. So I thought that was
wow.
pretty cool. So I'm gonna jam to some of those too over the holidays and kind of get an idea.
Sick, sick. Yeah. I want
What's
to
new?
take. Oh, new. A lot of stuff. I got a new cart for my turntable, Hannah SL.
Butter.
Stepped it up from my Denon 103R, and it still needs some break in, but instantly, just like the detail retrieval on it is a clear step up from what I've had. Um, so I'm stoked off it. I mean, it got me listening to a bunch of records. Just
That's dope. That's the way.
excited to jump into it, and I think that's what at the end of the day what matters.
Mhm.
But I didn't A/B it because like my turntable, I have the MMF 7.1 music hall, whatever, and it's just a pain in the butt to swap things out. And I was actually talking to Josh on he's on the Discord. If you just when I say the Discord, there's this SF.
It's actually linked
Audio
below.
Lounge. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I linked it below Discord.
Yeah, it's mostly Bay Area folks, but we got folks outside of the Bay, so
I'm on there.
yeah. Just don't be an LA fan and you're good. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh yeah, Irvine's the best city. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was talking to him about how there's Technics, their new 1200. A nice way about going that direction is it's really, really easy to swap cartridges. So if you really want to start going back and forth and swapping cartridges,
There's a way to do it.
yeah, they have like I don't know the difference between the two, but there's like two versions. One of them is like just under $2,000, and then the other one is like $5,000. And I got to figure out what the difference is. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Even though I think that's a cool turntable, and I love the idea of swapping, my next big one's going to be like the VPI Scout. I just have always wanted.
My buddy Dan actually had one for a little bit and then went into a different route. He had the VPI Scout and he really liked it a lot, actually, as I recall.
Yeah, and then this is like actually more exciting. Just
I know this.
I modded these.
It's not ZMF.
Yeah, they are not ZMF. They are the Aurora ZMFs. So I had some extra hardware from because I upgraded my VO and my Icon to the magnesium chassis, and I got the old chassis back. And I just was looking at it. I was like, I think I can make this fit, make it work. Because I like the sound signature of the Auroras. It like has this nice.
It's a cleaner 650 to me, like a more detail, more image 650. Yeah.
Yeah, and airier, a little bit better bass impact. But the problem was like the stock band. I just couldn't. First of all, wearing it while like wearing it at work, you just look ridiculous. Like just if you just look at yourself, you just look silly. I'm sorry, I don't care. And the thing is so flimsy, it fell apart on me a bunch of times. I mean, mine was used. I ended up fixing it to where it didn't like just like disintegrate when I looked cross-eyed at it.
Do I touch it? Wait.
I'm not I'm not trying to rip on it. It's a good headphone. It just the way it was out stock, which wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me was the comfort, and like I was noticing when I put them closer to my head and I held it, I was like, oh wow, the bass sounds nice and tight.
Yeah.
And then when it was like laying on my head, it was kind of loose and just wasn't for me. And then when I moved forward, the thing would fall off slide off my head. I was just like, this isn't. I had to figure this out. So
up there. I was gonna say I have the HD800s like that.
Yeah, it's like it was like the HD800s, but worse. Is the best way I can just at least with the HD800s, it kind of works for the HD800.
Yeah. Just because
But,
they're so airy, like they're already so light that it's like you expect them to just go flying off your head.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I think it totally like this turned it into like a
They actually look slick
and
too.
I want to keep. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's just, I mean, I kind of messed up. Like while I was pulling things out or disassembling it, I lost one of the screws for the Aurora Borealis, and it's like this semi-proprietary like screw. I mean, I couldn't find it at my local Ace, but then I just found some various other things that kind of hacked around it. Yeah.
Loctite, be good.
Yep.
That's dope though.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that, man. I dig on that. And then you're demoing something new, aren't you?
Yes. Thank you for asking. I'm demoing from Whitney from the guy that's Rhythm Devils.
Rhythm
basically.
Devils.
If you go check out,
he does
Rhythm
all
Devils,
the modded planars. He does the real dope little setup there.
Really, really. I got to demo the RD 4Z for good 2+ weeks. I really like that can. It's basically a modded LCD 4Z.
Okay.
Yeah, love the hell out of that can. Very warm, detailed. But still detailed. I was like swapping between my VO, and I was just like, damn, I kind of like am sad about missing out on how many like the detail. It was like clearly different. But yeah,
it's a planar detail. Well, we can talk about it another time.
Yeah, we can. But it was definitely like, when you're going to the AB, it was definitely there. I'm borrowing an Eddie Current aficionado, so we did a little swap. I loaned him my Amp and Sound Kenzie Ovation, and then I got his aficionado, and I've been really enjoying it. At first, I wasn't like, I thought it was. I threw the 650s on it.
A little first. A little sus.
I threw the 650s on it. I expect that to be like a magical combo, and it was just okay. But then now I've been throwing on like the ZMFs and the Auroras, and then some Grados. Got the Grado in there.
Got to put the Grado on it.
It's been nice. It's been really nice. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I think with the 650s, man, it's one of those things where they get so much praise because I think they're so not cheap, but like they're so accessible. And there's such a great entry into the space of like audiophile world, or like that rabbit hole. Like they're like the first step everyone has. So everyone always has that. What's that called? Like that reminiscent memory of them, or that love. You know what I mean? Like you have that your first skateboard, your first snowboard, your first anything, right? Like that's kind of like the 650s. I think for a lot of people are like the first. They were the first proper headphone, and so a lot of people have a romanticism with it. That's when actually go back and listen to them, you kind of go.
They're the Nash skateboards of if you know what Nash skateboards are, you're pretty much a '90s kid. I mean,
I got you.
Yeah, the ones that you get at Toys R Us that were like the best ones you can get at Toys R Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone had.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say everyone had like the bird or the freaking birdhouse or freaking what was the other one that was real popular back then? What was the other one? Element and birdhouse were the ones that were popular.
Those were much better. Those are actual legit skateboards. But I was rocking the Nash skateboard and getting punked around, but doing my best. I could keep up.
For real.
But I agree with you. The 650 is a nice thing to have around. I think for me, it sounds like dark.
Yes, I think it's veiled. It's dark. Yeah. It's an enjoyable can, but if you mix it too much with too much goo or too much tubiness, sometimes it's overbearing. Yeah, I think that's what you kind of ran into with the aficionado, maybe. But I think the aficionado is actually, isn't that more of a cleaner tube sound though?
It is, yeah. It's supposed to be more of a neutral. I would say I can't really talk enough about it yet. To be honest with you, I haven't been able to spend a ton of time with it on Saturday when I got it because
it's life.
Another story. I've been spending all this time trying to diagnose what the hell's been wrong with my shit Folkvanger, and it's been very sad. I know. Shit. Drop, but
don't they're actually tell me there's some shit in your shit.
Yeah, it's been like shutting off intermittently. But I sent it out to shit. They said it's fully functional and they believe it's the tubes. And I think they were supposed to send me some tubes, but they forgot to because on the note it's like send new tubes. And I'm like, I emailed them like, hey, I didn't get any new tubes.
Yeah.
And they were like waiting on that. So,
I do want to touch on something real quick. I want to get back to this Volkwagen thing, but I see something Multi-Kill pointed out, and this is one of my biggest frustrations with the 650s and the 600s, specifically the 650s. Is he says I get tired of all the different variants of the 650s. That drives me bananas. It feels like shifting goalpost. Oh, well, you don't have the black silk with the Irish spittle on the driver from the Irish factory, so therefore, and you're not pairing it with. It's like, man.
Yeah. So the HD 650 and the HD 600 are supposed to like sound like, from what I get, like sound pretty similar. Like they're almost the same headphone. I had a Marble Irish 600. That sounded way better than the 650.
Oh, dude, the 600s are, I think personally, are a better headphone than the 650 as well.
Well, have you heard the new versions that have been like the? I'm afraid I don't know if they're going to be as good as the Marble one that I traded for my Atrium. But sometimes I regret trading that thing. But I like the Atrium better than the 600s.
At the end of the day, the Atriums are going to be a better headphone.
Yeah, it is a better can. Yeah. All right. Can I run out and feed my dog?
Yes. I'll answer questions. I'll make fun of you while you're gone. I mean,
please do. I gotta take care of my dog. Hold on.
Yeah, man, take care of your dog. I was gonna say, yeah, Multi-Kill, man, the black silk paper thing, blah, dude, that drives me. It's like, man, it just feels like goalpost shifting to me when it comes to that stuff. And I don't get me wrong, they probably do sound slightly better. There's usually always truth to some of these like things like that, but a lot of times it's like. It also sometimes feels like I have a thing that no one else can have kind of thing, and then you're bragging about it. It's always like, But anyhow, Hobby Talk, what's up, man? How goes it? I saw your little live jam or your jam there on Twitter today. That was pretty dope. But anyways, Sleepy, let's see here. Life's been real hectic, Sleepy. Been real crazy. Let's see here. Jay works in healthcare. What do you do when you get to work up? Yeah, I think a lot of people, man, sleep. We got Jay when he gets back. I think we all like to sit back, relax, and just kind of not think about it, right? Go do other things, get your brain out of it. Yeah, dude, I was talking to Jay about that before we jumped on. He was like, yeah, stuff in my face, Rick. Dude, I overate before starting this. Wife came home with a big old loaf of bread and a bunch of, like, platter of meats and cheese and stuff like that, and I was just like, next thing I know, I've eaten way too much bread and cheese and meat and whew. Anyways,
all right, what I miss
nothing, bro. We were just staring at each other awkwardly, the chat and I. It was
cool.
Quite, Sleepy asks, he had a good question for you. He's like, do you work in healthcare? What do you do when you've got work up to your neck all month?
Yeah, I do work in healthcare. What do I do when I have work? So I build software. So I work for a software company that is in the healthcare space. I'm a product manager. And no matter what time of the year, as a product manager, you should have way more work than you can ever do, is what it comes down to. My process, though, is, and it's also kind of from various, like, there's this book, Essentialism, that I read. The author's like student of the D school over at Stanford, and one of the practices is to have lists. And one of the things I do is, I'm taking this question hella serious. Maybe I shouldn't, but I read a list, three items, and I don't do anything else until I complete those 3 items.
That's smart.
And then after the rest of the day, and there are 3 very important items. It's part of prioritization. I always have a list of things I need to do, and all I do is make sure I get those 3 things a day, and then I feel good, and you're gonna feel accomplished, and you're gonna be focusing on the right things. And then just blocking time off to like do certain work. What I do is there's always lots of meetings, and if it's a meeting day with lots of meetings, I make those 3 goals very small goals that I know I can accomplish.
You can get to.
Yeah. But yeah, it sucks. It's hard.
I'm trying to get back to doing that, to be honest. And I'm not even a busy person, but I mean, like I used to journal, and I used to write out every day of the week, going forward. and I stopped doing it, and I'm noticing my productivity is just like.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough. Getting shit done is a very, very hard skill, especially with like ADHD and all those things. So yeah, but it's also just getting rest, man. I can't tell everyone, like, sometimes you just gotta shut it off and then move on.
Yeah,
honestly, you're not gonna get it all done.
That right there, just at some point you just have to call it a day.
Yep. All right. Yay, ADHD. Yep.
Yeah. To snap back into the moment and decompress. Snap back into the moment. I just force myself. That's what I've learned. I think that was a military thing that I got for me was, because I'll sit and stare at a thing for a long time if I'm not careful, and not start. That's the biggest thing. Like I'll overthink starting. But so what I've tried to do is instead I'll just do it. To just take the first step and then once I start going, then the HD kicks in the other way. It like reverses, and then all of a sudden I'm just like.
Yeah, procrastination is like a real thing, man, and something that like I always try to work on. But decompress equals 420. It used to be like that for me, but now that's just that'd be like paranoia, and I'm more
That's more for me. I do, and I'm night.
I wish I could sleep on it. That would be kind of nice. Could help me sleep. I can't. That doesn't even do it for me no more.
Oh, dude, if I like even when I was like way into getting drunk, all that kind of stuff. Like I've never liked being drunk. Like that sort of thing. Like I don't like getting drunk. I like to drink when I drink. I like the flavor of the socialness of it. I never liked being out of control. But whenever I got the spinnies, dude, I would be like, oh, it's sleepy time. Because that was like being in a rocking chair. I'd just be like, oh, and then I'm out.
Yeah. Time to go to bed?
Yeah, room would be spinning. I'd be like, oh, sleepy time.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We want to do something real quick? I just got a box in.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's, hold up. Do I need a knife? Let me take a look. I do. Give me 1 second. Second.
And then we'll do this, and then we'll jump into the actual topics at hand, our top threes.
Yeah. All right. So, I got a box in from ooh, is it upside down? Yeah, acoustic sounds.
Acoustic sounds, nice.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Blossy? You're doing
Oh, there, Blossy babe.
Yeah, Blossy came through. She's gonna hang out. All right. Oh, yep. Look what came in. I thought it was this, but I wasn't sure.
Oh.
Steely Dan.
Oh man, you know who loves Steely Dan is a couple of guys I know. Vox. He does Smith and Rune keyboards. He loves Steely Dan.
It's not a bad band to like. Hey, oh, come here. Sorry, I don't pick my dog. Yeah, let's jump. Sorry, I'm like the only one home right now.
You're good, bro.
Little Blossy needs a lot of care. She's an old dog, huh?
Yeah. If you don't follow my boy here on Instagram, he's linked below too. By the way, his Instagram's linked below. I always post your links below. And but like, did you always see the pictures of you and your girl sitting there listening to music together?
Yeah. She's definitely an audiophile. She's a record junkie too. They know her at Econo Jam pretty well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, over here in Oakland. Yeah. Oh, let me go. Oh, come on. Go lay on the bed. But yeah, you want to jump in?
Yeah, dude. So, I guess start from the top would be top 3 items that we specifically got, and I was following. Oh, there you go. That we got that came out this year. Like, so I was following your rules. Like, they had to have came out this year that I got.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll let you. You want to go throw up your? I didn't rank them, by the way. I just threw them down. So I don't have.
Okay, I ranked mine like I always do. So I'm going from like number 3 to number 1.
Okay.
As I always rank.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start out. You don't want to do home court advantage?
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go first. I'll go second.
Okay, well, I guess for probably my favorite thing then that came out this year that I purposely bought, I'm wearing them.
Atrium. Yeah, nice, nice.
So that's my number one. What's your that's my number one. So I'm reversed from what you just said. You're going backwards.
I'm gonna go backwards.
Yeah.
All right. So one of my favorite things to come out this year, and it came out very early in this year, is and I talk about them all the time. Pretty annoying about them. And they're cheap. Well, they're like less than $100. You know, they're like 70 or $80.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ZMF Grado adapter plus the Bayer Dynamic ZMF pads. I think they completely changed the way a Grado sounds in a good way. Well, they completely changed. It still sounds like a Grado, but really the comfort is just. I mean, now Grado can be an all day can. What do we got there?
Oh, the ZMF. Wow.
XT800.
Well, yep. These are 700s. These are my gaming headphones. But it's the Crescent Strap, the portable,
Strap. Yep.
And that's what, as I say, this is actually another one that I love. This thing's
fantastic. The Crescent Strap is dope. Yeah.
And this is the button one. This is one you can like unbutton and attach to anything.
I threw that on my what did I throw that on today? My Bayer Dynamic T1.2.
Ooh.
And added a bit more. But the T1.2 is super comfy as is, to be honest with you, because it's such a damn light headphone. And but my headband on it is wearing pretty bad. So
yeah, and that's the 700s, man. I had them on one of those wood Crescent, like, you know, I'm talking about the wood headphone stands, and I pulled them off because I hadn't used them in like probably a year, and I was like, oh yeah, I love these. And as I did, like the way that the pad, it was like stuck to the finish of the wood, and it was like, and I was like,
yeah. I actually, so when you get this Crescent Strap, be very careful with the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually pulled it, like I was being.
Oh, you like ripped, like
yeah, and one of the buttons popped off.
I can see that.
But I was able to fix it for the most part. Or it's still functional, but yeah, you want to make sure you like don't put too much pressure outside of those buttons. Like really pull it from the button itself.
Yeah,
you don't want to pull it from the cloth. It'll not be good. But yeah, the Grado. I mean, especially if you have a GS that series, so 1000 or 3000, it really makes a huge difference from a comfort standpoint. And I hate to, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the Sleepy mentioned, do you like the ZMF Pilot pads? And I'm curious, do you think that the new Crescent pad would be replacing those? Probably not.
I mean, I would. I don't really like the Pilot pads. I can never get those to fit properly.
Yeah, I've it's a couple ones that work for me. Where the hell did I put my HC800s? I had them here. I was just playing with them today. I must put them away in the closet behind me. Yeah. But I have the Pilot pad on that. And that's pretty fun. My buddy calls it Frank the HC800 for Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, I like it. What headphone is this?
The HC800.
Oh, nice.
Because I modded it all out. It's all modded, so he calls it Frank.
Nice.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Pilot pad is that Velcro design. It always just pops off for me. It never actually, how do I say this? Stays put.
Oh, so, yeah. The one I noticed does that the most is when it's the two Velcro.
That's what we want to have.
Okay, so I have one. The one on my HC800 is it's only half Velcro. Like the rest of it's sewn on, and then it's Velcroed over.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then I have the other ones, which are like the two straps that come together.
Yep. I hate to do this. I gotta run and get my dog. My dog, she has like heart problems.
Oh no, you're good. Get her, dude. Yeah, man. Doggies first, bro. So, while Jay's gone, we could talk Putin up. But I'll go through this. It's curious. I should ask Zach and Bevan. I'm trying to get a time with them once things settle down after the holidays to do another live stream with those guys, and get a chat going, Sleepy. So maybe we can ask them what they do for holidays. Let's see here. Pilot pads kind of
usually have my wife here to help me out with this, but she's out at a dance. Dance class and rehearsal. Oh, there she is. Okay, so I just need to make sure Blossom's good.
You're good, man. You're good.
She's been having a few health things, and it's been tough. But we don't need to get bummed out about that. She's still happy and doing her thing.
Dude, that's all. That's all that matters, man. As long as you guys are happy together and you spend as much time as possible, right?
Yeah. So Pilot pad. Crescent Strap. Crescent Strap to me just kills it. I really don't like any of the old ones.
Dude, yeah, the Crescent Strap is pretty fantastic.
Just comparably speaking, at this point, it's just like why go any other direction? I think it's as far as like an upgrade from my ZMFs, it's one of the clearest.
Yeah, man,
like easy decisions.
It feels so good. Like yeah.
I think I got it here. Yeah, I got it here on the.
Oh yeah.
ZMFs. Aurora ZMFs. We never got the inspiration to do this too. Someone did a swap with an Odyssey band.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna do the ZMF version.
I think the ZMF would be better. I like the ZMF hardware a little bit better.
Yeah, you got to bend the gimbals a little bit.
I could see that. Yeah.
If you ever get an extra set, be careful. You could snap it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. My number 2. Your well, both of our number 2s. I guess that's how that would work, huh?
Yep.
Maths.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Number 2 for me, and it's actually new. It just came out, and it instantly sold out.
Ah, the Piety. Yeah, I got one as well. I can't take it. I could take it apart.
So
yeah.
This is I'm shocked at how good this was too. This is another one of those things where I was like wasn't expecting much, and honestly, okay. And if CT's watching, honestly, man, I bought it because I wanted to support you, not because I thought this was going to be great. So, low key. But that being said, listening to it, I was like, dang, this is legit. This is what I wanted the original like Magni to sound like, dude. Yeah. Like honestly, or like shit products to sound like for me. Like like this is good. It sucks that there's only 1,000 that were out there.
I know, right? I mean, hopefully he can figure out how to get access to the parts and make a few more. And I agree with you, man. The Piety is, if you can get your hands on one at that 150 price point, like it's just what amp is. I would recommend that one every single time.
Yeah.
Unless you like something really like
super clean,
super detailed. Yeah, super clean. Like if that's your thing. There's probably something else out there.
If you don't have a soul, then I could see going with something.
If you like to measure your amps more than you like to listen to them, get something else.
Something else.
But you know what changes the game for that headphone? Mm-hmm. That amp for the Piety, it really opens things up, like really kind of gives it this very, very intense euphonic sound and this bump in the sound stage. Just gotta get one of these. Put it right on top.
You trying to flex on me, bro? I only got the one. I got the one flex. I only got the one.
I got. Dude, those door stops, man. They're game changers.
Audiophile door stops, man.
Audiophile door stops. Dude, I want to do a review on door stops, which is the best door stop.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like this has helped me drastically with some, like especially like there's been some products I have. They're so light that they literally you plug in cables and like and you're off your desk and you're like, where the f did that go? And you're like trying to pull it, and then you slap one of these stupid things on. This thing weighs like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, and like it's not going anywhere.
The reason why I put I actually do put door stops on my stacks, my desktop stacks, especially for these smaller ones. Like the shit.
These little ones, yeah.
Because once you pull you gotta like hold it down. Like when you have these weights on there, it really helps a lot. So it's not moving around as much. And
dude, this weighs probably like 3 to 4 times the weight of this.
Yep,
easy, probably more.
And then you get the bonus of the micro details that just start to come through. And then you really get to experience what it's like to be inside the music.
Truth. It's big brain right there.
I know what it sounded like in the studio with these.
I knew exactly what the engineer was thinking when he mixed this now.
Exactly. I think I'm out of. Let me go fix my focus real quick. I've been dealing with this focusing.
Oh, dude, I haven't. So when I do these, like that's why I started messing with it earlier. Was I mess with? I have to switch off of. I shoot in log profile, and so now when I do these live streams, I always put it back to like a no picture profile, and I always look super cold. Like that's the terminology. It's like cold. So cold is the more of a blue shift, a blue purple, and then warm would be more yellow orange natural sunlight kind of. And for whatever reason, man, I always feel like I'm either way too orange or I'm way too blue cold with the profile. So I'm always like, ugh. Then I just say screw it and give up.
You don't look blue or orange to me, but maybe you have to develop that eye.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you.
It's I think it's also one of those things where like once you see it, it's like kind of thing with audiophile thing, right? Once you start hearing things, you're like, I can't go back.
Once you start hearing the flea farts, you're like, I gotta be able to. I gotta hear the flea farts every single time.
I heard the finger, the hangnail erupt off the person's finger as he slid along the guitar string.
Yeah, exactly.
I should hobby talk. I should do some more. I need to be better about manual balance. I'm lazy. I don't do it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Manual balance? What do you mean?
Okay. The auto, like, because right now I leave everything on auto white balance. So white balance is what will change that. That's like the biggest factor. And so I was leaving auto white balance just because. Also, I shoot mostly in log, and also when I shoot pictures, I always do raw photos, and so I never really care about white balance because I'll fix it in post. But
nice. Yeah.
Anyways,
so piety. If you can get your hands on it, go find one, go buy one.
Yeah, this thing, I was very impressed. And then did you try it in high gain?
Oh, I only leave it in high gain. It sounds way better. Like,
dude, it's not just crazy.
It's just not. It's not just.
It's not like turbo. It's like legit went from a V6 to a V8.
And it isn't just like louder.
No.
It literally has more detail.
It's more of everything. Like it's just
just better. It opens up. No, I'm not gonna use that word. It doesn't open up. That's. No, it doesn't really like. I felt it bumped the sound stage. When I first started listening to it. I have on loan right now a Grado HP 1000, and that combo was it was amazing to just listen to those both. My wife actually came into the room and said, "Hey, this is the amp and headphones you've been talking about." Because we were like playing a board game last night, and I was like, pandemic actually, and I was talking about it, and she listened, and she like basically spent a good hour listening to music, which is something she typically doesn't do.
That's dude, if I could ever get my wife to do that, it would be a shock, to be honest with you.
Yeah, she's heard a lot of my stuff, and that's one of that and the VO really have been where she's like, wow, this is really cool and different, and she really enjoyed it with the amp and sound. VO with the amp and sound. So.
Well, I actually have that right now. I have the Amps and Sound Kinsey without a volume with the Amps and Sounds Pre. That's what I'm listening to right now. And so Justin I'm going to do like a thing about separates, like why separating things out, like what that means, and like why is that better or worse, or not necessarily worse or better, but that kind of thing. Go into that detail.
How much is this preamp?
I think it's like $500-$600.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Because like I have my Kenzie Ovation has is set up as a power amp, and I use my Freya as the preamp to control the volume. So
and here's the thing, pre's always, dude, we totally went ADHD'd on this, but yeah, like pre's, honestly, you throw a pre in front of everything, and it's kind of like doing a high gain on the piety. Piety. Pie tea.
Tea pie?
Pie, yeah. I suck at pronunciation. I've always have.
Me too.
Like I'm just garbage at it. But my wife makes fun of me so much about that. But I would say that having a pre on there, like it's a whole another level of like oomph behind it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but
I'm looking at its preamp right now, and the only one I see is the one that has.
Is it two little knobs with the switch in the middle?
Yeah, and does the one you have a phono stage in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1850.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of? He did have a previous one that he was gonna do, but I think it was gonna be more off the shelf, and it was gonna be he wasn't in, and I think he went the other way. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I totally spaced that. I totally messed that up because he did have one that he was gonna put out for like 5-6, but it was gonna be like a pre-made thing.
Yep.
And then I think he decided not to do that, and he went with this one.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, a phono stage in there is pretty dope. I mean, I already, I like for me, I want a separate phono stage always. But
Yeah.
that's still a pretty neat little device. It's
Yeah.
hella clean looking.
Yeah, it's real simple. Like it just has the knob on the left is the selector, and then the volume on the right, and then its power is on the front. That's that switch. So.
Is it fully passive, or is there some gain on it?
There's gain. Yeah, there's proper gain to it. Yeah.
But for the phono stage, you definitely have to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a moving magnet phono. It doesn't look like it supports moving coil, but that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Have you hooked up your turntable to it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't have anything fancy for a turntable. I have a Fluence 85, I think.
Okay.
RT 85.
Nice.
The blue. Dude, I am not into vinyl like you guys are. I love vinyl, but I'm not into it as much as like I want to have a better space before I fully set up vinyl. If that makes sense.
I like have to sleep on top. I'm gonna have to sleep on top of my record soon. It's getting out of hand. I bought like a bunch of new storage, and I felt like a month ago, or no, like 2 months ago, and I'm already started to fill that up. So I'm actually trying to move a bunch of vinyl. Like I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm thinking about selling my entire hip hop collection, all my rap.
Why? Just cause?
Just cause, like.
Well, let's be real. Hip hop on vinyl, it's good. But it's
good.
not like.
Digital it's almost most of those were digital recordings, to be honest.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
What I'm trying to do, like, is
get to the purity of the vinyl.
You know, like I mean, for me, I've been
gets
really
the
getting
Pratt, the real Pratt of the vinyl.
Pratt. The real Pratt of the vinyl is it's like. At the end of the day, it's like really well mastered and like AAA vinyl. Not always AAA. So some masters that are digital are really good. Like the MoFi stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff sounds good. But like, all the Kendrick Lamars on vinyl, like I have them because I love Kendrick and I'm collecting them. But
yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah.
But like I'm at this point now where it's like I feel like I just need to. I usually buy the records. All the hip hop records. I know that they appreciate.
Uh-huh.
So maybe now's the time to cash out on some of my rap.
That's
rap
fair.
Record purchases. Start parting them out. Throw them on Discogs. I really don't like. I got this. This is a pretty rare box set of Tribe Called Quest's first album.
I love Tribe Called Quest.
I've never listened to it on vinyl. It's just been in the box.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple records like that, but they're all video game soundtrack stuff. So they're instant collectibles right off the bat, and it was just like, and I knew that they weren't going to sound like amazing on vinyl. So it's like,
yeah. It's like, why are you gonna listen to it? So yeah, I just need to condense. Like I'm gonna have, like, I can't just keep spending more and more on storage and just having this stuff like overwhelm my home.
Yeah, dude, feel you. My wife's like, get that crap out of the house.
Yeah, I feel it.
Third, let's get to these. I
got my second now.
Are you second? Sorry, second. My bad.
Yeah, my second, and that's gonna go. I'm gonna go with something I just got and I've been enjoying quite a bit. I will admit the aesthetics of it is a big part of it, and that's the Geshelli and OCW, JNOG, and Airs. So I got the JNOG in a wood case, JNOG 2, and the Airs 2 on in a wood case, in an OCW wood case.
And they're gorgeous.
They are beautiful. I'll be honest, the first night I got them, threw them on, it sounded a bit harsh to me, to my ears. But I left the amp running all night long. And it warmed up quite a bit. And It sounded really great. Really nice partnership with all my ZMFs. Threw it on there. Not the best with this. I'll be honest with you. It was okay. I think the best pairing that with these guys has been the amp and sound Ovation. Just really good pairing. But the Grados, really solid. HD650 was nice. It actually made it less veiled. So nice thing too is all my amps are my DACs that I have are multi-bit, and like I have no single Sigma Delta DACs. So it's nice to have one that also I believe it does DSD. Yeah, it does. It has like a light to inform you that it has DSD.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, lots of inputs, which is kind of dope. Yeah, and it sounds great. I mean, I've been enjoying listening to a lot of digital music through it. And I love the Eris design of it, just balanced, not messing around with anything else. So
Kind of goes into that whole separates thing too a little bit, right?
100%, 100%. I like the idea of that too. So maybe Jay needs his mic up. Oh, really? Okay. Let me. Is that better?
I boosted you a little bit on here too.
Okay. Okay.
But I think we're just chatting real chill.
Yeah. I'll here we go. I'll just get right up in that mic.
Let's get all crazy.
Yeah. Kidding. Well, I appreciate that. Let us know because I know I got that feedback last time we did the live stream with Gishelli, and my mic was a little low. So
usually I don't have my mic in. I was in a rush, so I put mine a little bit. Usually I have it out of this, But this thing's, it's a big, giant, freaking shotgun mic thing.
Ah, nice. So I'm gonna bring it closer. I'm gonna bring my mic. It's gonna be in frame. How does that sound? Do I sound too loud?
No, you sound good.
All right,
good.
cool.
Good. I like you got a little more thickness there. You got a little more a little more warmth and heat on you.
Close up mic talk with okay.
Talk.
All right, better.
Talk funny to me.
All right. Yeah. So that was number 2 for me. All right. Or that's number 2. So my number 1's coming up. I think your number 3 is coming up.
So we went the opposite way. So this is my. Not this is my least favorite, but my least favorite of these 3. Not least favorite. Favorite's a bad thing. And least favorite. This is my third pick. And for me, this is gonna be some heat. This is gonna come.
Oh, AirPod 2s?
Yeah, AirPod Pro 2s.
I've heard a lot of good things about them.
So these kind of ruin IEMs for me. I'm not gonna lie, because. And not because they're better than a lot of IMs, but because they're so convenient. Just, I could throw them on. I can go for a walk. I take my daughter to school. I walk her, and then I walk home, and I'll take my camera. I'm sitting there taking pictures and random crap, and then I'll be walking home slowly, listening to music, and it's a nice actually, what Sleepy's talking about a little bit. That's kind of like one of my. It's like 2 miles of walk of listening to music, taking pictures randomly, and just chilling, it's a nice decompress. Before I start the day, and then I go home, I work out, and I start my day. But
nice.
But honestly, for what these do, hard to beat. Honestly.
Well, I got those for someone for Christmas, so it's good to know. I can't say who. They're probably not going to watch this, but still. Yeah. But yeah, I've heard. Audiophiles are saying it's good.
Dude, they're good. They're legit.
I almost want to get a pair, even though my wireless IEM convenient IEMs, I'm probably gonna get even more. And I've been a fan of since their first product. Mm-hmm. It's coming. The newer I got the newer Pro True Wireless ones, and they. As far as wireless IEMs, so I've had such a bad experience with the original AirPods and the AirPod Pro, the original one, and also the Sony WF-1000 MX.
They're the big
2 squares. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. All of those fell off my ears all the time. All the time.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. So that's the other problem I have with IEMs is that my ears tend to slowly push them out. It doesn't matter what the hell I'm using, what tips. No matter what, eventually my ears will slowly start to push them out. So I'm constantly
pushing them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I don't have that with the Neuros. Have these 2 little kind of hooks that kind of slide underneath you, and it's perfect. But you can't see them.
Were what I liked. Yeah.
What's nice is they don't go around your ear. They're still in your. It's hidden still. And they sound good. I like the way they sound. I enjoy them when I'm mobile and just walking around and. The Sonys are, I need to just figure out, they popped out of my ears so many times that they're the tips are smashed and cracked. It's just, And I had them for a year. I got them like 2021, and they're just beat up. Like, when people ask me about them, I'm like, it's good if it fits your ear and you're staying still. But if you like want to be active with it, if you want to work out with it, it's not for me at least.
Yeah, I know the same thing.
AirPod 2.
Yeah, dude, that's probably my most used thing too for audio. Like if I was to count for like just on, because I mean I use them and I take them everywhere, you know.
Yeah. Another thing too is Tyler also wants to let everyone know that he only likes headphones that are tuned to the Harman curve. That's it, and nothing else.
Not a true story. Yeah.
But no, that's cool. And then your other favorite are the Raycons, right? Raycons are your.
Yeah, I gotta get them Raycons, yo.
Raycons, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, Stin, man, it's snowing here. We got about 2-3 inches already. It's pretty gnarly. So.
Oh wow. No snow here, but it's actually warmed up. It was like hitting like 30 something out, late 30s here in the Bay, in Oakland. And we don't have like central heat. You know, we got a 100-year-old house. It gets cold
here. That's the Bay
man.
Right there, man.
Yeah, and you got to deal with these 100-year-old homes that cost way too freaking much.
Yeah, for reals.
It's like, hey, here's
degrees.
Here's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and it was built in 1840, and total fixer-upper, $1.5 million.
Dude, we had a buddy that was like, he literally bought like an old crack house.
Yeah?
Like full on, like it had to basically tear it down and build a new house there.
Yeah.
1.5. It was like legit. It's just like, what else am I going to do?
And there was no leftover crack, too. There was no crack left over.
I didn't even get the benefit of the goddamn it. I couldn't even build quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's it's obviously pricey out here, but
yes,
AirPods 2, man, good one. All right, so my number one, and even though it's been giving me a pain in the ass lately, the shit Folkvanger, it's just Vonger, whatever, you know, the crazy 10 tube shit. It's just a really, really sweet sounding amp that just matches with everything I own. I think the one can it doesn't do fantastic with is maybe the Atrium, but everything else really, really nice. I mean, for the Atrium, I prefer the WA2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it just like adds that romantic open sound just a little bit more. But with Grados, it's just the Folkvanger is like amazing. Just make all my Grados sound the best it's heard. I've heard it. Yeah, and it's, you know, there's not a lot of tubes you can roll with it. You know, you can't really change the driver, the output tubes, I believe, but the input tubes 6922, so you got a lot of choices there. I haven't really done a lot of rolling. I only got golden lines on it and
just kind of went with it.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about that a little bit. Okay. I think that specifically like the tubes and like the ZMFs and pairing kind of thing.
Yep.
I've noticed that the VO, VC, and the Atriums are more picky when it comes to tube rolling and to the tube amplifiers. So, for instance, like I'll pick up more noise. Like, so here's an ECC82, right?
Yep.
So this one's like a JJ. This is something that Amps and Sound loves. This is like his stock tube he puts in there, right? It was, and I was like, it was too much gain. Like this has way too much gain. Like I barely could turn the knob, and I'm like, you know, and then it gets noisy, and there's all this like
really.
You know, and so then I switched to, I'm actually using right now in there, what I'm listening to right now is the same exact tube, but the 83. So it's an 83.
Year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm year, sure. 83. I'm just saying, 1983 was the year I was born. So.
Oh, no kid. I'm an 81. I'm an 81, baby.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a rooster.
Yeah. But I think I'm year of the monkey.
My daughter's the year of the monkey.
No, I'm year of the pig.
Pig. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm a rooster and a pig. Hey, we're farm buddies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, my favorite thing about the Folkvanger is, like I said, I don't have central heat. It's also a heater. When I turn that thing up on the morning, whew. Yeah, no, it's a really.
You get your coffee, your tea, and you're ready.
Yeah, it's just man, I'm so pissed that it's not working right now because there are so like there are like one of my favorite things to do when I was working. I get up really early to work. Is just flip that thing on and listen to one or two records before I like
Actually,
while jamming out on some work with no one bothering me on like meetings and stuff, and it just
helps to get that.
Experience.
Well, that's my walks. That's my walks back with the AirPods.
Yep.
It's such a nice detox or like a prep, or I don't know what you want to call it, like a brain kind of get together and like, okay, let's get the day going.
Yeah. By the way, I do want to talk about IAMs. I meant to say this real quick because Sleepy turned me on to the new SA6, and I had the same issues with IAMs as I mentioned. Those fit.
Those are so I like the SA6.
I don't have to keep pushing them in. I just throw them in.
Did you get a sweet artwork with yours?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not. That sounds cool. Maybe I can take a picture of that or just put it in that box and feel better about it. Yeah, but the dude, I got my buddy Mo Peace, who's also in the audio channel.
Plus makes dope videos.
Amazing videos.
I'm actually gonna try and get him on for one of these for
we should
for video. Yeah, we chatted about it a little bit.
He also does his own creator podcast. So
that'd be sick. So we could actually he said he'll give me a bunch of tips and help me with my video stuff, which will be much appreciated because I'm all seat in my pants.
Yep. Yeah, folk. If you get your hands, I think they're sold out now.
Folk fingers are sold out. Yeah.
Yep.
We did a bunch of limited run.
I know, right? It's like, hey, this is the dopest thing you should get for 2022. You can't get it.
You can't get it.
Sold out. Also, I mean, the Gishelli OCW too is like, I think that's gone. You can't get that. The only thing I can get the Grado pads. That's the one thing you can get. The Grado adapter.
You get Atrios, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
You get AirPods. There you go. AirPods. Those are readily available. That's easy.
Exactly. I mean, here's something that didn't make my list that I love that I got, and I was really hard for me to take this thing off. Was the for all my record folks, the Tone Poet series, the John Coltrane Blue Train reissue in stereo. I don't have a mono setup, so I don't care about that. But the stereo version is freaking amazing.
You know what I've been really loving, man, is the Funky Stuff album that you told me.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my dude. Because I've been searching for that forever, and you're like, oh yeah, it's right here. It's coming out, and I was like,
yeah.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah. I mean, I grabbed the copy too. I grabbed another one of his albums too, and that dude's dope. I love all that stuff that came out in Japan, like in the that funky
70s,
jazzy
80s,
kind of stuff, 70s and 80s stuff that was coming out there. Like kind of, especially some of the stuff that was like the precursor to some of the city pop stuff. Kind of setting all that up. I mean, they just, I don't know. It's good stuff.
Dope music for sure.
I have a original pressing of Sugar Babe, which is a city pop like classic. It launched all four of the folks in that band went on to do like their own solo career, and they only did that one album, and it's a lot of fun. You can't stream it. I don't think you can.
See, that's other things. You find some of these gems, you just can't get them anywhere.
You can't stream
or like
I could be wrong. You can stream it on like YouTube, but you can't stream it on like Spotify. And it's so good. So yeah, but yeah, Tone Poet. And also, Funky Stuff. Get Funky Stuff. It's worth every penny.
Dude,
it's not a cheap record.
It's not a cheap record.
It's a good record. Neither is a Tone Poet. I think it's like $40. $50. But definitely get it. If you love jazz. If you love jazz, you should get it.
And it's like a fusion jazz, though. It's like almost like it's almost like a precursor to hip hop a little bit. Like the new age, like more underground hip hop, but like that kind of like, I don't know, like that funky, like you said, the funky. It's almost like this lo-fi, funky jazz, hip hoppy. It's dope. I really dig it.
I could see people pulling that thing out and like sampling some breaks from it. Yeah. I bet someone may have. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They should, because it's dope. I wanted to touch on something before we jumped into the top 3 items that we want that came out this year. But Ego says, which purchase did you guys buy that you lied about the price or completely hid from your significant other this year? He's trying to get his on. He's trying to get his cop. Not that my wife watches either, but
I didn't. So who asked this question?
Ego.
Hey, I don't do that.
I do honestly. So this, my wife and I keep our finances completely separate. I got something
Mm-hmm.
that's we're it not, and we have a joint account, so we put money
Yep.
into the other. But as far as like, just because it's like,
Well, you want to. So me and my wife do the same thing. We have like a joint. We have joint
Mm.
savings.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
have
joint
like
savings.
we have like we split like a lot of
all
the
the
everything.
bills and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like if we buy something that's for the house, we always split it. If we for groceries,
Mm-hmm.
but like we have our own like spending accounts. Because like I want to buy her, like we want to buy, like we like to spoil each other. So if I'm spoiling her and she's splitting it anyway, like that's not really that fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, thanks for this thing that I just looked up and
Yeah.
saw that you bought. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
And it also helps for us too, like because it's like she's just like says she doesn't have to think about it. She's like, okay, you buy. She knows I buy a bunch of crap, like not crap, but stuff that she would find very unreasonable.
yeah.
But to me, it's important, And so if she doesn't have to think about it,
Exactly. It's like you don't have a conversation about where we spend our money.
And as long as I'm not in debt and being stupid, like she doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't tell her the price of anything.
Yeah,
She always laughs at me. She's always like, "Yeah, I'll be like, "How much does that cost?" And I'll be like, "Oh, it was on sale." She's like, "You're such a girl."
I do tell her, and she doesn't really ask that much. She don't really care, but I don't hide it from her. There was this one time, and she still brings it up because I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to my wife, but one time what I did was I said I wanted to get a pair of headphones down in Mountain View, and I just felt embarrassed that I was gonna drive all the way down to Mountain View, which is like 45 minutes to get a pair of headphones. So I was like, I'm gonna get coffee with my friend, and I drove down to Mountain View, and I got the headphones, and then I came back. She's like, "How was coffee?" You're like, "Oh no, we went to dinner later on." I was like, "Baby, I gotta tell you something." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "I lied about going to Mountain View with my friend. I didn't go there." She's like, "Well, what did you do?" I was like, "I went and bought headphones in Mountain View." She's like, "Why would you lie to me about it? Don't ever do that again."
That's such a dumb. Yeah,
That's a dumb thing to lie about.
Yeah, but I do. I've done that too, man. Like for this Leica, like I went and traded a pair of headphones for this and put some cash down. This is an expensive camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, dude. I was just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna meet somebody down in Tacoma."
Yeah, exactly. I never done it again or anything like that. And it was actually good that I talked to her about it because then, like, now I know, like, you don't have to lie about it.
Yeah,
It's your money. Do whatever. I was more embarrassed, and it was.
I think it's the more embarrassed. Yeah.
Like how much of a geek I am. It was actually a set of Grado SR 325 OGs, which are like the ones I modified. And I got such a good deal on them. Some guy was like moving to New York. I think I paid like $75 for them.
Oh, that's dope.
And I was like, yeah, I'll drive down and get those right now. And,
yeah, I was like this, dude. Like, this kid was selling this Leica, and I was just like, and it was a smoking deal, and I was just like, how about this? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like,
I just want to say, Aiko, that was the worst question to ask ever on this pod or in this live stream. I'm just kidding. That was fun. We're messing with you. But yeah.
I think we have some good stuff. Actually, just memes. Me. He has two good questions there too. Do you want to do his questions and then do ours, or do you want to do our top three and then ask?
Let's do some QA like after. If that's cool.
Okay.
Or do you want to take a break and do some QA right now?
No. So let's crank through our list, then we'll do QA.
We'll stop going on tangents.
I know
we've been
tangenting like crazy.
All right. I'm gonna go first now.
Yeah,
right.
first top three items.
All right, number 3 for me is ZMF Caldera. I want it, but it's expensive, man. It's expensive.
You know what's hilarious? My number one ZMF
is the Caldera. Yeah,
because these aren't mine. These are a demo unit. These are on loan from Zach. And yeah. I'm just not giving them back. But no, I'm gonna give those back to Zach here in the near future. But those are on loan. Those are not mine. But so those are definitely on my number one right there.
Caldera, I need to save for it.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I'm gonna get it next year. A part of me wants to wait for like a nice stabilized or what's the other thing that has that nice resin?
Resin.
I want a resin one. Yeah, I want a resin one.
That's it.
Are those resin? Oh wow. Oh yeah, that is resin. Damn. Nice. But yeah, Caldera. All right.
So we're reversed again.
Reverse. So why don't you do since you did your number 3, we both did I did my 1, you did your 3 basically.
Yeah.
Let's do our 2. Or you do your 2.
So mine's not audio related because I couldn't really think of anything that came out. I was having a hell of a time, like trying to think of something that I actually wanted though. Like right, like that was and I didn't want to just put something that I'm like, oh, I'd want that, but like I actually wanted. Like I was trying to really stick to the guns. Of, I want this, so I couldn't really think of anything else off the top of my head that specifically came out in the last year.
Yep.
So then I switched to camera stuff. So my last 2 are camera gear stuff.
That's cool.
Number 2, and these are things I don't need, but I really want them.
Yeah.
And so this is the new Sony A7R5, which is like a very photography specific.
A7R5.
It's a very expensive camera, and it's a camera body. And so I had, which is dumb because like my main camera, my main photography. So I have my main rig here. And this camera is not cheap. This is the top of the line Sony you can get. This is like their number 1, and it's the A1. But the R5, Sony does this frustrating thing to no end. The R5 just came out, and it has features that their total camera won't get. And I want those features. So
nice.
Like, it's one of those stupid. But this is still technically the better I don't know. So it's one of those things.
It's just as silly as owning a Verite Open and a Atrium.
Yeah,
like,
it truly is.
Like really, why do you need? Or it's just like, come on. Or having 12 Grados.
Well, I mean, there's one guy. I mean, what was that? We were before I left a lot of the forums. There's this one dude that kept posting his collection of little dots. He had like 13 or 14 little dots, like the little bottlehead crack competitor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know little dots.
Yeah, he had like 13 or 14. He had a ton of them. Like, he had enough to where he lined up his desk with little dots, and you're just like.
I mean, little dots is like one of the OG like kind of head-fi, like cheap head-fi amps, though, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like the before shit. It was kind of like you could buy a little dot.
For nothing. I mean, not nothing, but like it was
a couple $100.
Yeah, a couple $100 if that, and like, yeah. So I mean, and they're they're good for what they are. I'd say they're more in line with the bottlehead crack than they are anything else. But the Mark II, whatever those are. But yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Tangent. Go.
No worries. Number 2. Speaking also another Grado thing. The Grado GS3000X. I've always wanted the Grado. There's 2 Grados that I've always wanted that I've never owned, which is the PS2000E and the GS3000. It's like Cocobolo wood. It's just beautiful. I want to get it, buy it. Like I was almost ready to buy it new, but I know I'm gonna send it
and get it modded and
and it's just like so much money, and it's hard for me to spend
like justify that when you're gonna be.
Yeah, so it's because so just by the way, I have 4 Grados right now out to this dude on Reddit.
Yeah, your last picture was sick.
Gene Syndrome is what he goes by on Reddit. If you need a removable cable mod done, I can do it myself, but this guy does way better than I can, and I just sometimes get stressed out. Like he modified my GS. What he has right now is my vintage RS2 button. He modded that, which I actually got Grado to replace the drivers because I got it busted, but I got a really good deal on it, and they replaced it with the X cable. And he actually recycles the cable and made a removable cable for me.
That's sick.
And I sent him my RS1Xs, and my new SR325X, and my GS1000i, which he actually modified, but I messed up the grill and he fixed all of that.
That's sick.
He also polished my SR325, and now they're shiny instead of the matte, which was sick.
That's pretty dope.
So GS3000. I've heard the GS3000, love it. I'm just not, I'm not gonna spend I'll probably buy it over the Caldera though. Maybe if I can find one used and then get it modified. I have a lot of Grados and I have a lot of ZMFs, but maybe it's whatever. It's a drug.
I have a huge ZMF collection. I mean, it's just you know what you like, and that's what matters, right?
Yep. All right, number 3 for you, right?
Numero Trace. It's another Sony thing. So I've been eyeballing. Lenses are expensive. Like the camera bodies are expensive, but lenses are just as expensive as the bodies. So it's another one of those things where you legit these hobbies they kill you. But I want the new Sony 24-70 millimeter. It's a telephoto lens. And so, like, I'm mostly a prime shooter, so it's like a fixed.
Fixed lens.
Fixed lens. But I've been digging on that kind of zoom. I want a telephoto, and that one came out, and it's just rave reviews. I actually got to play with it. I went to a camera shop and I rented one for like an hour or so. But I didn't really rent it. They basically let me walk around the block with it and shoot. But yeah, and I was like, dude, I fell in love with it.
And you didn't just start running.
Yeah, no.
You didn't just start.
Now you have to leave behind your credit card and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, I just loved it. And it was just a beautiful, fun lens to use, and it was like really versatile for what it does.
Yeah.
So
that's sick.
So that's my third thing. So it's more of a camera. My other hobbies, we all have our different hobbies, right? So.
Yeah. Me, it's just audiophile bullshit. That's it. Record collecting.
Believe you. You make some bomb ass barbecue mushrooms and.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of vegan cooking. Vegan cooking is another hobby.
You like your coffee too, don't you?
Plant-based cooking. Oh yeah, coffee as well. You got it. Okay, you got me.
Dude, everybody's got multiple hobbies.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my number one is something I can never afford. Well, I could afford it, but I'm never gonna buy it because it's just way too expensive.
I feel you.
But I want it so bad. It ruined me at Can Jam. I plugged in a lot of headphones. I threw a lot of stuff at it, and I was waiting for something to be terrible with it, and it just didn't happen, and I was like pissed. And me and my boy were both like, damn, the Amp and Sound Red October.
Oh yeah, dude.
$12,000.
That thing is a beast. Yeah.
That's like a 3 or 4 year old Honda Civic.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude. Yeah, dude, that thing is good. He has a couple versions of it too. He's got the black one. He's got the 300B version. He's got the Red October, and he's got the. He's got like two or three different versions that he'll put together for it. But yeah, dude, like that Red October. Dude, I'm gonna sound like a jerk here, and I'm not meaning to, because I do like this guy's products, but it made even the Dan Clark Stealths sound amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to slam on Dan Clark. I think he makes a stupid good product, but like it's just not for everybody, right?
Yep.
But when I plugged those into the Red October at New York Can Jam, I was just like, this is not what I.
Yeah,
this isn't the same headphone. Like this is like it became this whole other headphone.
Yeah, I mean, I brought my VO down to I think I brought my VO and my Atrium down there like a freaking geek. To Can Jam SoCal, and I plugged them in there. It was freaking fantastic. They had an MM500 Odyssey, and it sounded really nice. LCD5 sounded really nice.
LCD5, that's the other one that was like shocked me. I was like,
what the hell is this stuff, man? Like this is like I'm like how much is this? And I'm like, so that's never gonna happen. Maybe I'll find one used for like, $9,000 or $8,000.
Yeah. Or you can find you can figure out how to make your own.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at right now. He has a bunch of some nudie pics of the amp, which is cool.
Yeah.
I can figure that out. No, I can't figure that out. I'm not gonna be able to build this amp. Okay. Dude, why would you say that? I can't build this amp.
Dude, I should say that. People I'm in a couple different like little private group chats with some of my buddies. And some of them are like legit know how to like solder and do like electronics and like their actual like engineering type, electronic engineer. And like I'm putting together this whammy case and I hit a wall like bad. And I was just like, like I went full Hulk, wanted to throw things out windows and stuff. I was just like, I can't figure it out. And they're like, dude, why don't you just read the schematic? And I'm like, because mother effer, I can't.
I can't read the schematic. That's why it's just numbers and lines.
I put Legos together. I don't put. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Don't.
That is something I think I do want to like. I'm gonna put a goal out there for myself in 2023. I'm gonna learn how to read a schematic.
There you go. Actually, that's fair. I should probably do the same because I do enough of this. Yeah, I mean, I should pull it up. I should grab this for a second.
Let's both do it and hold each other accountable, bro.
Well, it's funny because I sent them this picture, and it was because they weren't making fun of me, but I was being a little bit defeatist, but like, so this is the whammy I'm putting together, and so you might have remembered, this is the case.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, this thing's gorgeous, and so I'm putting together, and the thing that I hit the wall on was these two things. So that's the power. Those are the power cables. But in the directions, it just says wire it to the power. And I'm like, well, what's the negative and what's the positive? And I just researched like crazy, could not find anywhere in the instructions the negative positive. And then I read the schematics and I'm just like,
can't you figure that out with a multimeter somehow?
And I have one. It was lazy and I
think you should probably do that. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not sure. You should be able to find.
No, you can. You legitimately
all right,
can.
Just pull your multimeter out, man. You don't need to read the schematic. Just pull the multimeter. That's the easiest thing you could do.
I was ADHD in my zone, reading the instructions.
All right.
I fully take full accountability for my idiocy on having rage about not building that. But I got it all figured out now. I'm gonna try to get that done here soon. But
all right.
On to the next thing.
Good. Or do you want to jump into questions, or we want to do our top three?
What's your number one? Or did we?
I gave
the
you
GSC.
my number one.
That's right.
No, my number. No, my. Okay, so we'll go. I'm gonna go from my 3-1. You go to 3-1, just so we know we did it.
Okay.
Number 3, ZMF Caldera.
Yeah.
Number 2, Grado GS 3000X. Amp and Sound.
Yes, that's right.
Amp and Sound I can never afford. Amp and Sound Red October.
Yeah. We're covered. We're covered.
And by the way, when I say it's expensive, I'm not saying it's not worth it. Justin's stuff is worth it. I mean, worth it is like whatever, if you can afford it. But it's not a cheap amp, and I know Justin knows that, but I'm not trying to knock him on selling like stuff that's expensive. He makes great stuff, and you got to pay for it.
And he puts a lot of polish into it too. Like his stuff, I'm looking at his stuff right here. It's really polished. It's really
and there's no boards in it. He's doing all direct wire. That's a lot of work, and it's just
And he sources everything. He does a lot of gets a lot of custom stuff in there too.
And you're 3, just so we review this.
Caldera A7R5 and 24-70 lens.
Yep.
All right. Let's crank through the top 3 items we hope to see in 2023.
All right. Why don't you go first?
I'll just go real quick. Cheaper headphones, cheaper amps, cheaper. Dude, I swear to God, 2022 was the year of the total or something, man.
Yeah, I know, right? There's just been so many expensive, and they're all like, it's crazy. Like, it's just like $4,000 is the normal price for a top. $4,000 or
$5,000 is the normal thing. It's like, and if it's like $3,000 or below, it's like, whoa, that's a cheap.
I remember when I bought my BO, I was thinking $2,700. I was like, this is like $3,000 after tax and everything and shipping. I was like, this is a lot for a can.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, oh, we're going to bump that shit up 25%.
They'll buy it. They'll buy it.
Yeah, we will. We will buy it. I'm saving for it now.
Okay, but jokes aside, my number one thing I'm excited for to see coming out in 2023, or hope to see, is the Geshelli speaker amp that we're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
So that's a good one. That's actually something that you wish to see, and I fuck with that. That's a good one.
I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be beautiful. Mm-hmm. You got the OCW case. I think that's a lot to do. I think aesthetics mean a lot.
And if someone tells you otherwise, they're either blind or lying to you.
Here's my thing, and I know that because I know I care about it because of my time with the Aurorus Borealis. Mm-hmm. I could not stand looking at that thing. It wouldn't go on any headphone stand properly. It was just, every time I looked at it, I wanted to, But then it sounded good. But it didn't sound good enough for me to
to want to pick it up and use the thing.
All right. I'm going to do my number 3. All right. So, I talked about the Tone Poet. I would love to see a box set of all the Bobby Hutcherson Blue Note releases.
Oh, dude, Blue Note.
And it'd be in a box. So he plays the vibraphone. If you don't know Bobby Hutcherson, he plays the vibes. Mm-hmm. So you know. And it'd be in a box that looks like a vibraphone, and then you can hit it and it makes noise. That's like, I'm making shit up. Like, we can just this is like what I would love to see. I can just be as creative as I want.
I want to hit.
It's not gonna happen.
me get this.
But I would love it if they did that. I love Bobby Hutcherson.
I'm wearing
So
PJ, so don't mind my.
me too. It's
I wanna
Sunday
see a
night.
Blue Note record recorded with this thing. You ready for this? My mom sent this to me. It's a relaxation thing. You ever seen these?
Yeah. You busted this out. This is. Yeah, there you go. If Bobby Hutcherson was still around, rest in peace to one of the goats to ever, one of the goats, jazz musician. Also, spent the rest of his retired years over in Pacifica. So NorCal guy for a minute. Actually, OG from LA though. So, but we don't hold that against. I believe he's from SoCal, OG. But yeah, I would pay for that box set. I'd be a lot of records. I am really stoked. One of the things that I wanted for 2023. That they're actually doing is a reissue of Bobby Hutcherson. I forget who the other artist is, but San Francisco. It's like a combination, Bobby Hutcherson, someone else. I have it on vinyl. San Francisco. It's a sick album, and it used to be like a $5 record, but then something happened, and now it's like $100 record. Yeah, it was like something you'd find at Goodwill, someone threw away, and it's sick.
That's like tapes now. You've seen tapes blowing up now? Like tapes are the new hotness all of a sudden, randomly.
I think it's wild because once you play that thing 20 times or 5, it just it eats up on every play. Yeah. Yeah. I do have a nice tape deck. What's my tape deck? I forget. It took a while for me to find it, but still. I don't play enough tapes. I need to play more tapes.
That's a thing.
So that's my number 3. What's your number 2?
Number 2, things I'm hoping to see, and I think this one will actually happen. But I'm hyped for this because I love the sister amp to this. It's the Niche DSHA 3F.
Oh, so isn't that actually coming out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's coming out with it. I'm pretty positive. But that's what I'm excited for that. If that makes sense. I'm
excited. I mean, I just want to hear it. I know it's what is it supposed to be $2 or $3 grand?
I think I have no idea. I know the original was just around that $2,000 marker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got to follow up to the Piety.
Yeah, and that's a good one to follow. But that's another well-beloved amp. And there's a limited run of those too.
I'll be honest with you, I never heard of it. So
it's a Ravenswood. I think it was called the Ravenswood. Is what it was. DSHA Ravenswood 3F is what I think.
3FN.
And it was originally made for focals. I think it was they designed it around focals. So it's a low power, you can put low power requirement headphones on it, but you can put XMS on it. It sounds fantastic. It's just a really good sounding amp, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And I'm excited to hear that. Sister to my favorite amp, my ECPT4, which they only made a couple thousand of, which really bums me out because that thing is stupid good for what it is too.
Zach even has a quote on it: "Amazing driver control, holography, and slight euphony, euphony, nuts, euphony,
you funny, bro."
Not something in comparison most of my other solid states can do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's something special, man. I've only heard it. That specific amp once or twice at different meetups, and every time I was just I want it. So
nice. All right. So my number 2. So I heard on a I forget who, I think it might have been Passion for Sound, was interviewing Zach and Bevan, and Zach hinted at a T50 mod kit.
Ooh.
Which I believe is going to come out.
Yeah, I think he is talking.
And I'll be on that. I will be getting that as soon as it does, because it sounds like super fun. But what I would love to see come out in 2023 is an actual DIY ZMF Artur.
Well, I'll be sick.
And I think it should be the Artur primarily because that's always the standard of his. If you're gonna get your first ZMF, that'd be pretty dope. And you get the bare wood, and you can pick your different wood, and you stain it yourself.
It comes with some sandpaper.
Yeah, I mean, you literally put an entire headphone together, and maybe even there's different tuning kits that you can pick.
Oh, different meshes. They could send you all the different meshes and stuff.
I would absolutely love it. I would love buying it, and then I would I would mess it up, and then I'd be crying because I just destroyed this very expensive DIY headphone kit.
Man, that's how I feel about this whammy, dude. I'm freaking out about breaking it because I'm just God, because I've melted a couple amps trying to DIY.
I don't want to talk about how many headphones. I got dead body parts of bears and Grados all up in my garage. It's that's how you learn though. You gotta mess up. You gotta like understand. You know it's really if you ever
Only
pull
way
out a
you're gonna
bear,
learn.
pull out a headphone driver, and especially bears, you can really see it. Is like the part where the wires, the solder, you can look very closely. You see these two voice coil like wires, and they're very very
they're
small, like
less than
smaller
hair
than a
thin,
hit.
yeah.
Yes, and if you tap it by accident with a solder, or you just hit it, you can actually drop it, and then
it'll snap.
And it's a mess. So we'll see how it goes, but that's what I would love to see, a ZMF DIY kit.
That would be dope. I can dig it. I think that would be a really cool. I should text Zach and tell him. yeah. Jay has this idea. Maybe you should email him.
What's that?
You should email him and ask him.
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. I mean, because I had a really great time building his DIY cable kits.
Yeah.
I literally will buy. I was thinking about buying another one just because I want to make it, because it's fun. It's a super easy project too. Like
it's just twisting them and putting them all together. And
it takes time. It takes time, but it's sick.
For real, dude. Have you ever tried to sleeve a cable?
Yes.
Oh god,
I don't like it.
Hands are burnt to grow hat from trying to.
I'm not into it. I'd rather
just buy it. It makes you understand why cables are expensive.
100 freaking %. I always tell people, you want to know why cables are expensive? Try to make one.
Go make one.
Tell me like why someone's charging you $300 for that cable. Yeah. And does it sound better? I don't know. You know what's actually kind of dope is you can buy a Cardis headphone cable, and like really all you gotta do is split it. But the problem is that you have that, it's like that rubbery.
It's a super thick. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good sounding cable. I have one for my HD 650, and I think it sounds good.
Yeah, those are actually pretty dope. You just have to find the good stuff though. But
yeah.
All right. Number 3 for me. Number 1 for you. I'm assuming, is that how we're doing this?
I think so.
So number 3 is funny that you mentioned your number 2, because number 3 to me is the budget, and Sleep even talks about it, the budget ZMF.
Yeah, you've been talking about that for like 2 years.
Yeah, I think the budget ZMF would be a pretty cool thing to see.
And I heard he was trying to work with a 32 ohm driver, but he can't do it. So I think it's likely going to be a 300, which would be cool too.
Yeah, 80. Like, Sleep was like the 80 ohm. I think you mentioned 80.
Oh, is it been 80? Okay.
Yeah. So 80, but it's probably going to be a 3. I mean, who knows? But I'm going to assume 300 just because it's. But who knows? But that's the one I'd be excited to see hear more from that about that.
I think that'd be just good for
just the hobby too as well.
Because it's going to open up a lot of people to be able to afford a ZMF. And then, what I think... So, I'm going to try to... I'm sure he's trying to make a really good can that's accessible, but when you're able to mass produce something like that, it's lower margin, but higher volume. And then now you have this steady stream of income coming in. And for me, that's dope.
Yeah, on the...
For ZMF, because now they can... Exactly, now they can make,
And then that eventually will slowly, like all things, the trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
But the technology you force and build and excited for will eventually lead to another headphone at the lower price that you can. I mean, even look at his the Atriums to the new Artura Classic, because the Artura Classic has the Atrium technology in it. So
I'm really excited about making like an affordable can so that he can create more top of the lines that I can afford. Mm-hmm. All right, I shouldn't be buying what I'm going to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I shouldn't be, but I will.
Yeah. That's a good number. That's a good number. Number 3.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah,
that's a good one. All right, my number 1. My number 1.
Let's hit it.
And I really want this because I felt like I got capped on pretty hard for what I use. Is an OCW record stand. That's what I want. I would love for that to come out this year. I'd be like, the reason why I say that because it's probably something I can afford. The Bobby Hutcherson box set would probably cost like $1,000. Like, there's just a lot of records, and it's a vibraphone too. Yes.
$1 million.
And then like a ZMF DIY kit, I want that, but I probably would be afraid to buy it because it's expensive and I'd probably ruin it. But I still want it. But OCW record stand. And
when he's saying OCW, he's saying O'Neill Creation Workshop. So Grumpy Goose headphone stands. Goose, so I knew what you're saying. Stand.
Yeah, I would buy that up. I can't wait.
Headphone stand. This is the headphone stand to beat.
That is 100%. All right, so we got through it. And an hour and a half. We didn't. You know.
I mean, for not talking about audio for the first 30 minutes, I think we did pretty good.
We did pretty good. We're usually a lot worse than this. All right, want to plow through some questions?
Yeah. I have it set. So Jess, me. He has 2 questions. Worst product versus best product you heard this year. It's tough. I think I could probably pick some stuff out, but
I can't think of anything specifically bad that I listened to.
I get a lot of cheap IEMs, so I mean, I'm just gonna say cheap IEMs is the worst thing I've heard this year as a blanket statement.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something. I'm going back to like what do you call this? CanGem, and just trying to think of something that I listened to that I was just like, nah. And I didn't really listen to enough stuff to really get there.
Dude, that's the other thing, man. Most stuff is not bad. Like, even the worst things that I've heard, I could see someone liking it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I will say, like, a lot of the cheap flavor of the month IEMs are probably the worst things I've heard this year. Like, and it's a thing, man. Like, and people hype them, and they get all like, because they're $15 or they're $20, and it's don't buy coffee for 2 days, and you can get a cheap audiophile IEM. And but I mean,
I can't really talk about a piece of audio that I got that I listened to that wasn't very good. Can I talk? I mean, I would say Kanye West's new album. Didn't he put on a new album this year? Or was that last year? No, it was last year.
I don't pay attention.
It was last year. Okay. Yeah, it was like Drake's album maybe came out this year. And it was pretty terrible.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad albums that came out for sure.
I'm trying to think. I didn't hear anything I didn't really like with. Yeah, I wish I can say something that.
Well, how about this? Best. What's the best thing you've heard? I already know mine.
Caldera.
Yeah, I'd say the Caldera is probably the best thing I've heard this year. My favorite thing would be the Atriums, though.
I would say I'm down with that, but you know what I'm going to say is this was an entire chain, and this is one of the things that I almost put onto my list of what I wanted that I didn't get. Is the Dina Luna? Is that how you say it? What's it? The
DCS stack thing?
DCS, the DCS DAC and Master Clock. That was what was when I had the
that thing's
jaw dropping experience with the Caldera.
They were talking about it in the chat, I think, too. Actually,
that was the DAC and Master Clock I had behind a Lord Gwen SET. So that was like that right there.
That's another the Lord Gwen amps. If you can ever hear one of those, like.
That whole chain was the best thing I heard all year, probably. Yeah. No, actually, yes, it was. And funny that I say that, and I don't say the, Ambient Sound Red October. The difference, the reason why I say the Red October versus that, I only heard that in that chain. I didn't get to hear a bunch of different stuff on the Gwen SET or the Dina Luna or whatever the DCS.
DCS, yeah, it's DCS Bartok or what? Not Bartok, but DCS Luna, Dia Luna or whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna look. Lina, Lin. Is that right? Yeah, Luna. That thing's a stupid expensive. What is that? Like $20,000 for the whole stack? 30?
For the whole stack with the amp, but I would just want the
DAC and the Master Clock.
Because that like
10.
Really.
That's a $10,000.
I think it's like something like that. But I think it's $24,000 for those two actually.
For just the DAC and the Master Clock. Yeah, it's expensive. I think it's $30,000 for everything.
Yeah.
Bananas.
But yeah, that was the chain, and so the Master Clock $7,300, the DAC is $12,750, and the headphone amp is $9,100. Solid state too.
Bananas.
Yeah. So
fair. I dig it. I can dig that.
Yeah.
All right. Best bang for buck product of the year.
Piety.
Oh yeah.
Easy money. Dude, if you can get it.
If you can get this. Okay, for me, I'd say it's for most used or best bang for your buck if you can find it. There are 1,000 of them, but I mean this was stupid good. This just for how much I use it. I mean, I even have like dings on this thing already. I've only had it for a couple months. I already, I take it so many places. I have like chips out of the case and like
Piety all day. Even if you, here's what I would say. Even if you have to pay a few more bucks for it, which I've seen some people like post up like a few bucks on it. I think it's interesting. How much money do you need to make off an envelope?
$200 is the most I'd probably grab for it, and even then that's a stretch.
But even that's like, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? You're like
making like $30 after tax and PayPal fees. Like, come on, man. Like, just you don't like it, move on from it.
Yeah.
You know, get it back to the community so people can hear it.
Agreed.
I don't know. I'm getting a little preachy here. If you got to hustle, that's your hustle. Go do your hustle. My bad.
You gotta hustle. Yeah,
I'm out of pocket. I need to learn better. Like, who am I judging these people, bro? Like, I feel bad.
You're good. Let people do what they want to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And
be you.
Be you. But just
My bad.
don't expect too many people to be appreciative of your hustle.
I had too much LaCroix today. You know, I'm not myself.
You had the grapefruit, didn't you? You're a
grapefruit.
little sour today.
You look crazy. Actually, I had the watermelon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tasty. All right. So yeah, bang for buck, I guess, would be the piety, and then there she is. I'm gonna crank through this so you get everybody.
Back to their day,
back
their
to the
lives.
day and stuff. I hear my daughter going nuts out the door. Is why.
Oh wow.
Arthur Haywood asks, I want to purchase a new DAC amp combo unit and in anticipation of buying a Caldera at some point next year. The Caldera is not the most amp dependent. Like, it's actually pretty easy to drive. So that's actually, like, you can drive that off of almost anything, to be honest. I've tried off a lot of different things. It actually pairs really well with a lot of like tube amps, I've noticed as well. And Zach actually purposely did that for that one. But as far as like DACs and amps, I'm going to tell you, and it's something I think Jay hears me say all the time, for a DAC and an amp, both of them, pick a budget for each. Like, let's say you have $1,000 total, right? Let's say you want to split it $500. Find a DAC that's $500 and max it out. Like, go as high as you can for that budget, and then forget about it. Same thing with the amp, dude. Just find, and then go with something that you know, that you like, that looks like, or something. If you already have something in place that you enjoy the sound of, like let's say you have a Jotunheim or like whatever you have, try to find something similar that you know you'll like, and then max those budgets out. That's how I would go with it, and then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be crazy like the rest of us.
Move on. I'm trying to shed. I have like 3 DACs right now. I'm gonna modify my Mimby, and then I'm gonna get rid of it. I just want to do the mod
just to see what it's like.
Just hear it and then like sell to someone that wants it.
Well, yeah, I have like 1, 2. Well, this is a loaner, but I have a pre. I have, piety. I have a bunch of pre's sitting here. I have 2 DACs on my desk right now that I'm actually using. So I have my RME ADI2 DAC for my KEF setup, and then I use my Spring 3 for my headphone setup. And then I have a TT2 down in my living room for my bigger box stereo stuff. But
nice, not bad.
Yeah, but I want to switch out the Spring 3 for the TT2, because the TT2 would get more play here than the Spring.
That chord flex, that chord audio flex.
Gotta have those glowy balls, man. Gotta have those glowy balls.
I will say this. I won't talk about. I don't like the way chord stuff looks. I like the way it sounds. I've heard it.
Yeah, chord does sound pretty. You know what's funny? I don't like the Dave. I think the Dave's technically the one of the best DACs you can get.
Yep. I
don't like the way it sounds though. It's too dry to me.
Really?
Whereas the TT2 has a little more of that warmth, wetness. But
oh no! Okay, there we go, bossy. I'm sorry.
Anyways, let's go hit these last few. What you think? Do you think that's cool? Good advice? I mean, as far as I think, just that, man. Just pick a budget and run with it.
I'm for it. Yeah, I would almost say like make that the least money you spend on your chain. Don't worry about balance.
Yeah. Don't worry about balance. Balance doesn't actually. I mean,
at least to start out.
Like, balance, honestly, this is something I always was taught.
Same thing with amps.
Is like balanced amps and like stuff like that. It's for pro audio. Are you a pro audio guy? That's how I've been like, and I think there is a difference. Balance matters, especially if you have a lot of stuff. Like, I have a ton of cables and wires, and because I have just so much crap on my desk because I do like the video thing, right? But if I didn't have that, I'd be single-ended all day long, just because it's easy and I don't have to worry about it. But balance helps with that. Helps stop noise, and there's a lot of things that help with it. But at the end of the day, it's not something most people should worry about.
Yep, I agree.
And it's more power. Balance is more power and better noise isolation. That's basically what the difference is.
I know some folks that have said, and I'm not going to deny this, and I'm sure it does, that balance sometimes sounds better. I'm sure it does. I haven't really.
So this is the reason behind that. I've talked a lot. Well, this is me rumoring. Sorry, I don't want to jump on it. I'm going to get on a thing here, pedestal. But the reason balance a lot of times sounds better is because balance takes more effort to build. It takes more, like you have to be very, so they put more effort and better parts into a balanced side of things. So a balance will always sound better, especially in the same amp. If you have a balance, a single end, it's going to sound better on balance because they have to build for balance. It's a very specific way to build. So, I don't know.
Makes sense.
But sorry, that's me just preaching. I don't know. I'll probably get flamed for it, but whatever. That's just my. Those are my thoughts. I don't think I'm right, but
you shouldn't have independent thoughts.
No, I should. You're right. I'm sorry.
And there's no reason to have thoughts on audio because you just throw it on an AP, and then publish the findings, the measurements, and then that will tell you what's good and what's bad.
True.
That's all that matters.
Actually, multi-kill, Quicksilver, fantastic option. Agreed. That's a great option, Quicksilver.
The amp.
Mm-hmm. The amp,
Yep.
Echo is also a good one as well. I agree, Sleepy. All right, Jay, what do you any last words for the chat here?
The one thing I saw was someone they got the hemp and they're like, what's the next logical upgrade?
I like the hemp.
The hemp is great. The next logical upgrade, and you should go listen to it, is the RS1. RS1X.
3000?
The the RS1X. It has a hemp core, so very similar to the part of it is hemp, and then there's I forget what the other wood is. I borrowed my buddy's and instantly made an offer for it. Well, not instantly, after 4 or 5 days. I was like, this is a good can. And if you like the hemp, I think you will really like the RS1X. But definitely demo it. My buddy really liked the SR325, and then he liked the button RS1. Got the RS1X, did not really like it. So it's not for everyone. But if you like the hemp, I think you'll like it.
And so Sleepy has a question, and then we'll kind of end on this one. I think you're a perfect person to talk about this. So he says, what amps go good with the hemp? And then to go along with that question, what grotto is good for people that like warmth and soundstage? And I would say the hemp.
The hemp, yeah. I was gonna say, the what amps? So definitely. I think the hemp is like the most grado I've ever heard. That it's not super stabby versus other grados. In my opinion.
Yeah. Here's Johnny.
Not super peaky, I should say. As far as an amp goes, I really anything sounds pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to drive.
Yeah, I will say the Folkvanger sounds really good with every grado. Also, the Lyre 3 is a fantastic amp for grados.
Ooh, yeah. In fact, that's a great amp.
Really good. It is a really good amp. I have one. I'm trying to sell it. So if anyone's looking for a Lyre 3, hit your boy up. But what's it called? It's really good with the grados. The only reason I'm selling the Lyre 3 is because the Folkvanger kind of covers it for me for my grados. But also just solid state just sounds really good with it. So the Piety was really good with the grados.
Yeah, dude. Actually, this thing, I was very shocked at how many things this sounded good with. So.
Yep. Asgard 3, good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good with the grados. Yeah, you can't go really wrong. I just think do you want to go tubes? Do you want to go solid state? I would say. I heard some folks say that the WA3 sounds really good with the grados. I love the WA3. I don't think it sounds good with the grados at all.
And you're the grado man, dude. So
I'm also I love Woo Audio too.
Yeah, Woo does make some good stuff. You see their new one, the big crazy. What's that? That's a $10,000 amp too. Jeez.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. Very different than their other design too. So
I dig the look a little bit. Looks a little.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I would love to buy that amp. When I saw it debut, I'm like, I'm buying that no matter what. I'm buying.
And then you saw the price, but
I was like, I guess I'm not buying it.
I lied.
Well, I'll go listen to it at Can Jam. That's cool. I'll be over it afterwards.
True story. Yeah, man. So many expensive things. But yeah, I think that's fantastic. I'll let you have the rest of your evening and let everyone else have the rest of their evening back. And thanks for this Sunday holiday stream.
This was fun. Chill. Happy holidays, y'all. Have a good New Year.
Start bothering this dude to start his own YouTube channel.
It's 2023.
2023.
No, I'm saying 2023. I'm actually working on a couple long form written pieces.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited to get those out, and I'll be doing some videos soon. I got some ideas that I'm actually on the works of collabing with, so I'm really excited about.
You got some fantastic talent right there, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You know some
my
people.
boy. Yeah. That's what it is. Surround yourself with some talented people and just kind of hang on by their coattail. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about.
Just make cool friends and have good times. And I think that's at the end of the day, it'll make for good stuff.
Yeah, but there's gonna be more stuff coming out. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to check that stuff out. So, all right.
Oh,
that's
accidentally zoomed in on you there and there, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, cheers. Thanks everybody, and we'll catch everyone on the next one. Thanks for joining.
All right. Peace, y'all. Later.